Well, Hugo, after
a
couple of really good performances in the last two games, that was a bit of a fall from grace today.
Fall from grace, I don't know. First half, yeah, we were a little bit, didn't look like the team that we have been in the last couple of games, but the second half, I know we huffed and we puffed, but at least we spent the second half of the game trying to score a goal. We just maybe need a bit more quality and some better decisions in that final third on this particular occasion. But look, it's all swings and roundabouts. It's, we won a game last Saturday. We went to a team that no one gives a chance to get anything from. People expect us to get walloped on Tuesday night, and that didn't happen. And we've lost today, so if anything, we're probably 2 points behind where we would have liked to have been this week. So there's still a lot of football to be played, and we'll just dust ourselves down. We've got 2 more home games coming up this week, and we've just got to be ready to be at it again Monday in training, then Tuesday when Woking come to town.
There was an incredible amount of effort went into those last 2 games, particularly at Grimsby. Do you think that took something out of them?
No, not really. We look after the players in terms of how we their own schedule and what we do on the training pitch. They're not overloaded in weeks like this because we realise that freshness is the most important thing. So, obviously. Tuesday was a longer away trip, and we all got home in the middle of the night. But the players, when they came back into training, they'd been given enough time to be fresh, and they were. So no, I don't necessarily buy that. It's you always got to remember fair play to Altrincham. They, from where I'm standing, they altered their style of play to what they normally do, and they basically did a job on us today. So. Look, whilst it's disappointing to lose, and we all hate losing, at the same time, there's still a lot of football to play. We'll keep believing, we'll keep working, because we still believe that we've got a chance of staying up.
I think it's good that after those 4 points in the last 2 games, I think everybody was getting a little bit carried away, maybe.
Yeah, well, listen, of course, when you have positive results, and particularly the point at Grimsby that no one gave us a hope in hell in getting outside of our own 4 walls. It is easy to get a little bit carried away. It's the reason that we've been brought into this football club is because, as I said to you before, if there's a change in management, it's always because someone's gone on to something else for having a better offer, or something's not right. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get things how you want them, and that's not an excuse or anything like that, because we've been here for a while now. But as far as we're concerned, overall, we look back on this last 7 days, we're making progress. We've had a little bit of a kick in the behind today, and we've just got to dust ourselves down and just come in really positive Monday morning. We'll prepare the team best that we can, with Woking in mind. And when the whistle blows at 7:45 Tuesday night, just know we'll go and have a go at it.
Does that cutting edge seem to be missing today as well compared to the last few games?
Yeah, well, depends how you just define cutting edge. Do you mean in the final third, balls into the box? Yeah, listen, we probably could have put more balls in the box today, and that's something that as a staff we'll review and evaluate in the next 24 hours, and we'll make amendments to what we see needs to be amended on Monday ahead of Tuesday.
Yeah, you talk about your targets that you had in mind, and when you put it into context, I guess you're not far off.
No, this is an unforgiving division where on the day anybody can beat anybody, and I mean that, anybody can beat anybody. And I know we competed well with some of the teams up the top and stuff like that, but it's a relentless division, and if you're not on it for 90 minutes, you would get punished. And in this division and upwards, any kind of small thing that you get wrong in your own box, whatever, is punished more often than not.
It's weird, it's one of those games where you felt Altrincham had more players on the pitch sometimes, because when the loose balls, they were there and they were hungry. Yeah,
in the first half, we felt that they were picking up way too much second ball, and we sort of made a little amendment to that at half time, made the players understand the positions that they need to perhaps take up in a better way. But Altrincham have, fair play to them from my point of view. I'm trying to be objective here, in the sense that they came with a plan and they stuck to their plan, and we didn't work the keeper enough, unfortunately. But fair play to them. So we just keep saying, long way to go. It's not the end of the world. Sometimes it feels like that after defeat, particularly on the back of 2 results, as you've just rightly said as well. And but now we'll look to go and try and have another positive week this week.
And there was a hope when Paul pulled off that fantastic penalty save that maybe the tide had turned then.
Yeah, I mean, you hope in that sort of moment, and it was a fantastic save by Jonah. You hope that sparks people into maybe to alter their in-game mind, their in-game thinking, should I say? And but unfortunately, the goal was maybe a little bit too deep within the box, or there was one or two errors that led to it. But the guy took the goal well, but of course we should have. There would have been things that we can look at that we should do better to stop that happening.
But there is another opportunity very quickly.
Yeah, well, it's a bit relentless coming up now, isn't it? It's Tuesday, Saturday, and yeah, it's great. It means we get to play a lot of football. So I don't know how Woking did today, but that's a tough game. They're a very, very well drilled side. They've got some real good players in there. We're aware of their strengths. We've got just to make sure that we can expose what we think they're not so good at. And but where we are in the division now, we've got to keep rolling our sleeves up, and we've got to find a way to keep trying to close the gap between us and those above us, and keep believing, because we certainly do.
Obviously on the touchline today, Tommy up in the stands, he got a different view of proceedings. What was his thoughts?
You'll have to ask him that, I'm afraid. When you don't get me wrong, when you're up in the stand and you've got a higher view, you see a lot of different things that maybe you didn't notice before. But look, I can't speak for Tom, and I'm not going to speak for Tom. So I think he'd rather be down here with us, but unfortunately he's not at the moment.
Do you think not having him on the touchline affected the performance in the first half?
Again, it's hard to say, isn't it? The main man, the manager, the leader of the pack, as it were, is not at the front of the pack. Possibly, but at the same time, you've got some experienced footballers on the pitch that, you'd like to think that, well, let's get on with the job, because the job's quite simple, in the sense that we need to win. We want to win a game of football, so. The team are very well prepared as far as we're staff are concerned, in terms of what we've done in the training ground and the information that we've given them. But yeah, listen, when the leader of the pack isn't there, maybe I don't know. You'd have to ask the players that. But we're all staff. We're all singing off the same hymn sheet, and I couldn't really answer that question. You
seemed flat first half, especially. You did seem flat. Is that where you have to give credit to Altrincham, because they obviously came with a slightly different game plan?
Yeah, I mean they asked more questions of us than we did of them in the first half, and they had a lot of possession and territory. What I mean by that is that they're in our half a lot in the first half, but we were in their half a lot in the second half. I think basically the whole game of football was all played in that half. If you see what I mean, first half Altrincham were going that way, second half we were going that way. So it's one of those things where you try and put balls into the box. We bring Big Goldie back into the frame, and he's a very difficult player to play against. And just maybe we need to do a little bit better feeding off him as well, or anticipating what's coming off him, because he's a nightmare to play against.
Okay. Do you think that the 4 games was, because I think you spoke in sort of Tommy's case, didn't you? As to what he said or didn't say to the official. Do you think the 4 games was too harsh?
Well, of course.
Seems a ridiculous amount of games.
Look,
I mean, if he's going to be found guilty...
Look, listen, you've put me in a position here where I have to be very careful what I say. I gave my evidence and my version of events and what I saw and what I heard or didn't hear. And that's all I really think I should say, because I don't think it's right for me to question the authorities, in the sense that I don't want myself hauled up in front of them.
I guess if they're giving Tommy 4 games for swearing, probably if you did give your opinion, you'd probably get a lot more. So I understand that.
I'd probably be sat up there for 8 games.
And I wouldn't be forgiven.